Whether on the road, on a paved trail, or in a more natural setting, cycling is a fun and healthy activity enjoyed by millions of people across the country. Coming up, we'll show you a few ways to explore Georgia from the unique perspective of a bicycle. Next on Georgia Outdoors.
Funding for Georgia Outdoors has been made possible by a grant from Mary Hall Singleton and by the Imlay Foundation.
Across the country, more and more people are rediscovering the simple pleasure of cycling. And with large events like Tour de Georgia and Bike Ride Across Georgia, our state draws bike enthusiasts from across the country and around the world every year. From mountain biking on the rugged trails of North Georgia, to riding the paved pathways of our cities, to the meandering roadways of the coast, there are plenty of opportunities to get out on your bike and see the state, on your own or with a group. And if it's cycling with a group that interests you, the Coosa Valley Cycling Association in Northeast Georgia sponsors one of the most popular cycling events of the year, Up the Creek Without a Pedal, a bike ride through the North Georgia countryside.
It's called Up the Creek Without a Pedal. It's the 17th annual one this year. We have a 10-mile, 30-mile, 62, and 100-mile route, so anybody can participate in it.
Up the Creek Without a Pedal is not a race. No competition is involved. It's simply an excuse for folks who like to ride to get together and experience scenic North Georgia.
I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina, so we climbed a lot of the mountains, and you're a pretty good state for riding.
It's just good. I mean, we ride a lot at home, you know, and so we decided to come down. This is my first one.
All of the participants begin together in Rome. At exactly 8 a.m., the officials give the signal, and the riders are off.
For the ride today, we had probably 550 or so. They all start at the same place and go out together, and then they each start turning off at different places, but they all come back in together.
As the cyclists leave Rome, they're treated to a nice pedal through the lush North Georgia countryside.
Well, if you get out in the more rural areas like we are here, you have the good scenery and you have very little traffic to contend with.
Because this ride offers courses of different distances, cyclists of all skill levels enjoy the ride.
Well, we've done it in the past. We did it last year and loved it. We loved this ride. And then this year was the first year we brought Wesley.
We're having trouble keeping up with him.
The Coosa Valley Cycling Association sets up stops along the route every few miles where riders can rest and recharge. Cyclists refer to these as SAG stops, or support and gear stops. On this ride, local scout troops donate their time, providing food and water for the cyclists.
I'm with Troop 56. We're sponsored by New Armuchee Baptist Church. We're here to serve the food. We've been doing this, I think, for about 10 years. You got the gamut of from bananas, the good stuff, or the junk food.
The ride passes through a section of the scenic Chattahoochee National Forest, a protected area which covers 750,000 acres in North Georgia. The riders today are enjoying some lush views of this important resource.
It's just beautiful. It's a winding road, has a little bit of climb to it, and it has the creek on the side there that's very scenic.
People enjoy the experience of group rides for many reasons.
I like doing the group rides because that alerts the traffic something's going on, as opposed to just getting out by yourself. If I can get some hills, I love it. Because it's the challenge of getting to the top of the hill, because you know you got a downhill once you get there. So that's the incentive.
I like the camaraderie. You know, I like getting out here with all these other cyclists and talking to people, getting to meet people, seeing the various bikes.
Not all bikes are created equal. Recumbent bikes allow cyclists to ride in a reclined position.
I ride a recumbent. I've been riding recumbents for about 6 years now. And actually my son, my 30-year-old son, got me into recumbents. They're more comfortable, they're easier on your back, they're easier on every part of your body. You finish a ride, you're tired, but you're not aching.
Just past the SAG stop at 30 miles, cyclists who want to tackle the 100-mile path ride further north, and the rest ride the additional 30 miles back to Rome.
From there, the 60 goes on back through valleys with very scenic views with the hills and mountains over to the right side, farmland, just gorgeous scenery.
There's nothing like returning home after a long ride through the mountains. But if you're looking to stay in town, a fun biking experience starts right at your doorstep. More and more people are choosing biking in the city, both as a commute alternative and for fun. In Atlanta, the Atlanta Bicycle Campaign is an organization that promotes safe, fun, urban biking.
We work to promote safe bicycling around Atlanta and metropolitan area. We have various programs like effective cycling to teach people how to ride in traffic, to be comfortable riding on the streets with cars.
Use your hand signals to indicate turns. Tell people you're stopping if you have to stop.
This ride is geared towards beginners, so no one will be dropped. We'll all stick together.
Once a month, the campaign hosts an event for beginners, a fun ride around Atlanta.
That's a ride that my wife and I have been leading for about 7 years, and we encourage beginner riders to come ride with us. It gets people to be comfortable riding in a group, riding around Atlanta with traffic, knowing that they can give them the courage to go out, and hopefully after this they'll ride on their own.
Today's fun ride follows a short route that covers some of Atlanta's most notable landmarks.
Today's fun ride is a standard ride. We normally do this ride. We have a couple of others, but this is the standard ride that most people seem to enjoy. We start at Little Five Points. We take the Freedom Parkway towards downtown. Then we go by Georgia State University, and we go by Turner Field. Then we stop at Grant Park, and then we go to the Oakland Cemetery. Just nice, quiet, slow pace, like about 10 or 12 mile ride. And we always cater to the slowest rider. Nobody ever gets dropped. The slowest rider dictates our speed.
Having a great time. Beautiful day, wonderful to see all these people out. I ride every day to work, and it's always nice when you're in a group to feel that support.
Watch out for car doors on the right side.
Riding your bike on city streets presents challenges. It may be intimidating to get out on a bicycle with cars and trucks zooming past, but there are a few simple things to remember when sharing the road with cars.
Just do the same thing you do if you were driving your car. Don't ever get too close to the edge of the road because cars will think that they can swing past you. If there's room for a car to pass, let them pass. You just have to use common sense in every moment as you're riding. If there's cars parked, leave room for doors to open up. Never ride more than 2 abreast. Share the road goes both ways. We want cars to give the bikes a break, and the bike riders need to let the car drivers go on their way as well.
In addition to fun rides like this, the bicycle campaign is active in making Atlanta a safer, more bike-friendly environment. One major accomplishment of the Atlanta Bicycle Campaign is helping establish bike racks on MARTA buses to allow cyclists easy access to public transportation.
Some people don't want to ride in the city, so they can take the bus out to a better street that they want to ride on. Others, they might want to bike part way, but then there's some tough streets in between. Or they're just going too far to ride all the way.
While biking in the city can be a lot of fun, a bicycle can also take you out of the city. A bike is a good way to see and experience the countryside without the confines of a car. And with a little preparation, you can pack all of the essentials for an overnight stay far from home. Bike touring is the practice of riding your bike long distances, often camping overnight. We joined bike touring and camping enthusiast John Drummond, who'll share his love of the road with KJ Mode and Curtis Gilbert, taking a ride from Augusta to Mistletoe State Park, a distance of just over 30 miles.
We're bike camping. We're touring. This is, if you want to think about it that way, first night out. I might not come back. It gives you a lot of freedom. You can travel short distances very easily. You can do long distance if you want to. It kind of frees you from schedules. You don't really feel so tied to schedules.
Before you hit the road to go camping on your bike, you should pack a few necessities. You might even want to invest in a trailer.
Standard stuff is a tent, a sleeping pad, some food, some camping and cooking gear. A trailer is a dream. That carries everything. Once you're going down the road with it, you don't really notice it.
Augusta native Curtis Gilbert is new to bike camping. This is his first trip.
I like camping, but I had never done it on a bike, and I just was curious if I could do it. I started getting into bicycling for health. I decided, hey, this would be fun. I can put camping and biking together, and then it's 2 for 1. I like biking as a way to get around. It's quicker. I live in town. The traffic's so bad that it's actually quicker for me to bike to school than it is to drive. I actually get to see more on my way where I'm going at biking and get to enjoy the scenery. I actually notice a lot more.
KJ Mode is another newcomer to the art of bike camping. At the young age of 15, KJ is an accomplished cyclist and often competes in races, so he handles the 37-mile trek to Mistletoe State Park with ease.
It was pretty mellow. We were doing a moderate pace, rolling hills, pretty cool. I camped, but I've never ridden my bike and then camped, so it was something new for me to do. It seemed like a fun experience.
It only takes the guys a couple of hours to make the ride to Mistletoe State Park. Located on Clarks Hill Lake, the largest reservoir east of the Mississippi, Mistletoe State Park is a popular destination for camping, fishing, and getting back to nature. The group is staying in the Pioneer camping area at Mistletoe, a more primitive experience.
There's a type of camping for everybody. Some people want to camp where they can't see anybody. I like the Pioneer area for many reasons. It's a beautiful area. There's a lot of hardwoods in there. It's cool. You get good shade. You're not far from the water. It's kind of a group atmosphere, just a lot of fun.
This is the first time I've tried the Pioneer area, but I like it. It's real nice. You get outside, you get a peaceful feeling.
Biking is a good way to explore the natural world without the disturbances and limitations of traveling by car. Many of our public parks and wilderness areas offer bike paths with access to hard-to-reach places. On the coast, Harris Neck National Wildlife Refuge, just north of St. Simon's Island, is a particularly good place to explore on your bike. We joined a group led by Chris Buffet, owner of Monkey Wrench Bicycles on St. Simon's, to explore the diverse wildlife habitat found at the refuge.
This is a real jewel of a refuge. It's very small, just a little over 2,800 acres. Even though the refuge is under 3,000 acres, we've got about 1,000 acres of high ground, and it's intersected by some very interesting roads. Our wildlife drive is superimposed on the remnants of the old Harris Neck airfield that was active during World War II. And it'll take you by several freshwater impoundments or pools that we've created, and you'll see a diversity of habitat types, and that's what makes this refuge so attractive, such a wide variety of birds.
The group is riding bikes built for this kind of relaxed pace riding.
The cruisers we're using today are bicycles by Electra. They're called Townies, and they're named as such because they're perfect bikes for just kicking around town. They're very comfortable, a very upright seated posture. Simple single speeds is what we're on today with baskets. Really just puts the fun in bike riding. We have purpose-built bikes, we have racing bikes, mountain bikes, but to have a bike that's just relaxed and fun to ride is priceless. That's the most comfortable thing in the world.
Cruisers are kind of fun. This one is, the pedals are forward, so you kind of sit back. It's very relaxing. It's a very relaxing ride. I have more of a mountain bike that I'm more used to, but this was very relaxing. It was a very nice ride. It's a good bike.
For those wanting to get out and experience nature, riding a bike at Harris Neck offers some great opportunities for wildlife viewing.
Riding a bike in a place like Harris Neck is great because it's quiet. It's a much more serene approach to nature and wildlife and other people that might be out enjoying the same thing. It's just a good way to explore.
It's a totally different perspective. When you're on a bike, it's kind of like, in a way, like in a kayak. You feel like you're in the nature as opposed to just driving by and seeing it on a television set.
Harris Neck National Wildlife Refuge is a fabulous place to ride bicycles. I'm here with the group. There's plenty of room to ride. It's flat. The rookery is amazing, this time of day particularly, because the wood stork and the herons and all the birds are coming to roost. We can see a lot. There's also alligators, and the way they've got it set up, we can ride our bicycles really close to the water and be very quiet. There's not cars back there. It's just gorgeous.
The riders today are getting a good view of one of the refuge's main attractions, nesting wood storks.
Our premier, most popular species, of course, is the wood stork. Not only is it large and easy to see, but it's an endangered species. It draws a lot of attention, and we're quite proud of the fact that we pioneered the first artificial nest platforms for storks here. But fortunately, our storks are now moving away from those structures onto cypress trees that we also planted in hopes that they would transition from the platforms to the less maintenance. You know, the grouping of clusters of cypress that are on man-made islands that we also created. And these birds will either be nesting there or just loafing there most of the year. It's possible even in the middle of the winter to see some storks here at Harris Neck.
Harris Neck is just one location on the Georgia coast to enjoy your bike. Coastal biking is a fun and rewarding activity.
Coastal riding is great because we have no mountains to deal with, very few hills to deal with. There's always a good breeze. There's always plenty of things to look at. It's just an easy way to get reacquainted with bike riding and explore a new area.
Whether on the road or on a trail, safety is a vital part of cycling. Here are a few ways to stay safe on your bike. Always wear a helmet. A properly fitted helmet should cover your forehead but not obstruct your vision. When riding on the street, ride with the traffic. Stay close to the roadside and obey all traffic signals, including stoplights and stop signs. Use proper hand signals when making turns. Before you ride, make sure that your brakes are working and your tires are fully inflated. For information on bicycle safety laws in Georgia, visit the website for the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Georgia offers a lot of opportunity for biking enthusiasts of all types, from casual cruisers to hardcore racers to those who enjoy a more rugged experience. Mountain biking is a good way to experience Georgia's more undeveloped areas in a fun, physically challenging way. In Georgia, there are a number of mountain biking races and other events held throughout the year. One of the most popular is the Helen Fat Tire Festival, held this year at Unicoi State Park.
The Helen Fat Tire Festival is basically a celebration of the mountain bikes. We do a lot of riding. We have a lot of social time during the rides, after the rides. We have contests and games.
Everyone come on down, we're getting ready to start our bike games. We're going to start with bike limbo.
Games at the festival include the bike limbo, the bike relay, and one of the most unusual events, the traditional bike toss. The Fat Tire Festival is geared toward mountain bikers of all ages. The event is sponsored by Sorba, an organization responsible for a lot of the mountain bike activity that goes on in Georgia.
Sorba is the Southern Off-Road Bicycle Association. We're a membership-oriented organization. We try to develop trail systems, maintain existing ones, introduce them to new areas. put on events for our members and other mountain bikers. We felt that in the region there's an ample amount of racing going on, and as an advocacy organization and a member-oriented club, we need to always do things to help bring new people into the sport of mountain biking and also cater to families.
While events like the Fat Tire Festival are a part of SORBA's mission, members of the organization volunteer many hours maintaining trails across the state as well. In Georgia, public mountain bike trails can be found in a variety of places, including state parks and nature centers. You can even find mountain biking areas along some of our lakes. Along the scenic shores of Carter's Lake near Chatsworth, you'll find Ridgeway Park, a collection of trails maintained by the Southern Off-Road Biking Association.
We're on the north shore of Carter's Lake. These are multi-use trails. They're used for hiking, bicycle riding. The Army Corps has been very cooperative with us to let us build and maintain these trails and ride our bicycles. This particular trail at Ridgeway is known as a roller coaster. There's no level ground. You're going up or you're going down.
Mountain biker Don DeFontenot has been riding the North Georgia trails for more than 10 years.
There's two trails at Carter's Lake, Ridgeway Park. There's Cross Country Trail, which is a pretty well-known race course. It's around 5 miles long. They do multiple laps on it for different skill levels. It's a fairly strenuous course, trail, but if you take it at a slower pace, just about anybody can do it. It's just kind of what you want to put into it. And then there's an advanced skills downhill course that's just gone in, for more along the lines of what's become popular now, the long travel, full suspension bikes. A lot of people that are into the more technical side of riding. The advanced trail is very advanced because Ridgeway as a whole is an advanced area because it's steep terrain. The advanced trail has a lot of drop-offs and jumps. The very beginning of it has a jump. You know, that's kind of there to let someone know that they're on an advanced trail right off the bat. The great thing about the Ridgeway Trail is that you really feel like you're out in nature, in the wilderness. You don't hear traffic or anything. It's really green, it's great terrain, it's real natural. It's just something that a lot of people use as therapy. Get out on the trail, you think about nature or just other things in general other than work or anything else that could be bothering you, because it requires that kind of concentration.
Members of the Southern Off-Road Biking Association do more than simply ride the trails of North Georgia. They also help build and maintain the trails.
We try to keep things in good shape, keep people coming out and riding. We like to change things every once in a while to put a reroute to keep things fresh, keep people from getting bored with just one trail. We try to keep them coming back.
While the trails at Carter's Lake aren't really geared toward beginners, there are many trails in Georgia that provide a fun experience for the whole family. One of the most popular is Blankets Creek near Lake Allatoona. We met up with Alex Nutt, author of Mountain Biking in Georgia, and his family for an afternoon on the trails at Blankets Creek. Alex helped design these trails, and there's something here for everyone.
You can get a little bit of everything out here in Blankets. They've got a nice beginner loop. They've got a good technical intermediate loop and another loop that's kind of in between the two that gives you good workout. You combine them all and you can probably get about 17 miles of trail without going over the same trail twice. This trail was conceived, designed, and built by mountain bikers for mountain bikers. This is one of the very few trails that bikes actually have the right-of-way. And the whole layout of the trail is such that it's a hoot to ride on a bike.
Alex and his wife Kim ride a tandem mountain bike built for 2 people. In fact, they own and operate MTB Tandems, a company which builds tandem mountain bikes for enthusiasts all over the world.
Tandems was a great way for me to get started in mountain biking. It was a chance for me to get the experience with him being the captain on the bike. It made it a lot easier. I just enjoy being out. I can talk about anything while I'm on the back of the bike and he can't get away from me. I can sing songs. We can make it really fun.
Anybody can ride one. It's a little bit different set of skills, but if you can ride a bike already, it comes very quickly.
As an accomplished mountain biker, it was important for Alex to get the whole family involved. His 3 kids have proven to be enthusiastic cyclists as well.
I like mountain biking because you get to be dirty and go over jumps. I like mountain biking because I get to spend time with my friends and, of course, get muddy.
At Blankets Creek, there's even a training course to teach young riders some useful techniques.
I like the training course because there's a bunch of cool stuff you could do in there, jumps and stuff, and teeter-totter.
I wanted these guys to see what I saw on some of my rides. I mean, they don't put trails in ugly places. They don't put trails in places you don't want to go. They put trails in beautiful places that are great to go to and that you want to go back to again and again and again. And I want these guys to see that and to experience what's out there. It's a whole different world out there.
Cycling is a great way to experience Georgia from a unique vantage point. It's also a wonderful way to make friends and get healthy while exploring the world around you. Whether on a city street or an isolated mountain trail, there are plenty of opportunities in Georgia to get out and get active on your bike.
Funding for Georgia Outdoors has been made possible by a grant from Mary Hall Singleton and by the Imlay Foundation.